Hey, look, Chris Brown is the LeBron James of R&B. You know what I'm saying? Why you say that, Cool? I say that because their careers are pretty much similar. You know what I mean? And not all the way, but they careers is parallel for real. And the reason why I say that is because, for one, they came out at the same time, right? LeBron jumping into the NBA around 03. Chris Brown came in around like 05, right? So they came in the early 2000s and both of them got compared to the GOATs, right? LeBron got compared to Michael Jordan. Chris Brown was being compared to Michael Jackson, right? And how I look at it is like this. Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson are like the gods of, their field, right? I mean, you really can't compete. Michael Jordan still, his J's still going to this day. People still getting popped because of his J's, you know what I'm saying? People still, you can make so much bread off just selling his shoes. So he's just the god of basketball, right? Same thing with Michael Jackson, right? Especially in the entertainment field. The dancing and the singing, he's the god of that. He pretty much changed the way that we view music videos, you know what I'm saying? Changed the way that choreography was performed, all of that. So out the gate, LeBron and Chris Brown got, they got compared to them out the gate. And here's another thing that they have in common, right? Different compared to the people that they being compared to, right? Their styles, right? So what I mean by that, Michael Jackson's style is similar to like a Usher, right? Usher, who I consider like the Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe and Mike, they pretty much got the same playing style, right? They were more ball hogs, you know what I'm saying? They was known for just, it was all about me, me, me. They were more kind of selfish players, if you will, right? LeBron is the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? He's big on assists. You know what I'm saying? He plays more like Magic Johnson, right? Magic Johnson said that. Matter of fact, Magic Johnson said once LeBron stopped trying to play like Mike and started trying to play like me, Magic Johnson, he said that's when he started winning. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. His whole LeBron James' whole playing style is different compared to a Michael Jordan. You feel what I'm saying? Same thing with Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown, Michael Jackson was more like a pop locker, you know what I'm saying? He was more like real heavy on choreography. He was real smooth with it. Same thing with Usher, right? Usher's real smooth. He got his little tick things he do. But for the most part, Usher pretty much mirrors almost what Michael Jackson does. You know what I'm saying? He got the little side, little glide, same thing. Michael Jackson got the little, the moonwalk. You hear me? So it's pretty much the same thing. But with Chris Brown, he came in with crumping. Just, you know what I'm saying? And he got more of a wilder dancing style. It's more rap. It's more hip hop based. You know what I'm saying? It's more street. He's more of a street dancer. You know what I mean? You can really like compare him to like a Bobby Brown or like an MC Hammer or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Their styles is just different than who they can be compared to. I'm talking about Chris Brown and LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Style completely different. The hate that they got, right? So y'all already know the infamous incident between Chris Brown and Rihanna, right? When he got into it and beat up Rihanna or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was automatically canceled. I'm talking about everybody was just in a state of shock, like, what, Chris Brown? How could you beat up Rihanna like that? Cancel him. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with LeBron, right? How can you leave the Cavaliers like that? I remember, man, people was literally burning jerseys. It was all over the news because he was the savior for Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? He brought a lot of money back to Cleveland, And then by him leaving, going to Miami, oh my God, people was just going hysterical. I mean, people was talking about doing a lot of crazy stuff that I can't say over here, you know what I'm saying? But they was really like losing their top behind that. You hear me? And they basically both, you know what I'm saying, got it to the point to where they faced a lot of public scrutiny, like a lot, you hear me? And it's to the point to where it's like the hate was so heavy, it's like, damn, can they shake back from this? You know what I'm saying? They shook back, right? So you got, even though, LeBron slid to Miami, right? He slid to Miami and he got with, D-Wade and Bosh or whatever, and they won them, his first ring, So it's like people were still hating, but it was still like, well, if you were a LeBron fan, you still got to respect it, right? Everybody was like, oh, you switched teams, but he still won a ring though, Same thing with Chris Brown. He shook back, right? When he came back from the Rihanna incident, he pretty much went independent for the most part. Label wasn't rocking with him like that. Radio, he was canceled on radio. You hear me? He had to build himself back up by just doing features with like a lot of rappers. You feel me? And that's how he built his stock back up. And that's when he started to be back on the radio. Because it's like, if I'm featuring on all these rappers' songs, y'all ain't got no choice but to play me. You know what I'm saying? Then he brought out Fame, right? Fame was his album that was his comeback album, right? And he won a Grammy off of that. So he shook back from the public scrutiny, same thing the same way that LeBron shook back, right? Both of them kind of changed the landscape of, their field, right? And what I mean by that is Chris Brown thing was change the landscape of releasing music, right? We came up in a time where it was like cohesive albums, you know what I'm saying, all of that, right? But then when Chris Brown was doing this, streaming came into play like around 2015, 2016, right? And he started releasing an enormous amount of music, like Heartbreak on the Full Moon, right? That had like 45 songs on there. And it was like, what is dude doing? Like, what is he on, right? But it was a money play. And then also, you know what I'm saying, people was talking crazy about it. They was criticizing him hard, like, bro, that must be the coke, bro. That must be the coke. Dude, the drug addict, right? But they not knowing that he releasing all them albums all them songs on the album for money. It was a money play. And then he knew people was playing playlists. So he said, you know what, I'm just gonna release my own playlist. So really, like I always said, like Chris Brown needed to stop calling his albums, just start calling them playlists, so it'd be received better. You know what I'm saying? People will be more receptive to it because they looking like, okay, this is a playlist, so I'm expect that, but same thing with LeBron, right? He changed it up, right? He switched it up. He switched up the landscape by switching teams, right? People was mad at him for like going to Miami and creating a superstar team so they can win a ring. People was hot. It was Michael Jordan didn't do this. Michael Jordan would never. Kobe would never. Kobe stayed with the Lakers. MJ stayed with the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? It was the same situation, and he got a lot of scrutiny behind it. But then at the same time, he won another ring. So it was like, okay, boom, right? Then he came back to the Cavaliers and they won a ring there. So then everybody's like, oh my God, LeBron, we love you again. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was too. So that's another similar thing, right? And then after that, right? After that, you started seeing other players, right? The KDs of the world, you know what I'm saying, jumping into different, teams and, what people don't like, team hopping. You hear me? Same thing with Chris Brown, right? On back to this other side, right? On the music end, after he released Heartbreak on the Full Moon and Indigo, you started to see more and more people releasing long albums, like long track list albums. Like now, the regular track list used to be like 17, 18 songs, right? After Heartbreak on the Full Moon, people start releasing 25 song albums, 30 song albums. You know what I'm saying? YoungBoy did a 33 song album right after Chris Brown released Breezy, which was like I think almost like 30 songs. And was like, DJ Academics was like, it's funny, man, when YoungBoy do it, it's like, oh man, he's feeding his fans. When Chris Brown was doing it, it's like, oh, he's a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? But, he pretty much got everybody to start he pretty much got everybody hip to the streaming game. Another thing, right, is the whole, while we on music or while we on the system, right? The system, Chris Brown never really had one producer, to work with to create a classic album per se, right? Michael Jackson had Quincy Jones. You hear me? He had Quincy Jones. That's what he made Thriller, right? And that was a classic. That's the most classic album of all time. Then you got like Usher, right? He had Jermaine Dupri, Brian Michael Cox for the most part, right? That created Confessions. Chris Brown always worked with like different type of producers. He never really stuck to one. Like, I'm gonna just lock in with one producer, one songwriter. We just gonna nah. Chris Brown worked with so many producers and songwriters is pathetic because he worked at such a fast pace. He be like, all right, he just always just adapting. Like, hey, all right, it sounds good. Let's do it. Okay, switch over to LeBron, right? LeBron, right? He wasn't really known for having triangle offense, right? And John Sally said it on Gil's podcast, right? He said on his own podcast too. But he said basically LeBron only got 4 rings because he doesn't have the triangle offense system that Michael Jordan and Kobe had, right? That's why Jordan was able to get 6, Kobe was able to get 5 because of the triangle offense. You know what I'm saying? It was a system that he was under, right? But being that he doesn't have that system, they feel like, oh man, he can win 5. But bro, at the end of the day, LeBron is his own system. You know what I'm saying? He's his own system. So that's the reason why he's able to do his own thing. And yeah, even though he comes short, he only got 4 rings. He did it without a system. You feel what I'm saying? Like Chris Brown, right? It's like people criticize him, like the average casual listener would be like, oh man, he doesn't have a classic album, whatever. His fans say his first album and Fame is his classic albums. But something that kind of pushed R&B forward, whatever the case. But it's like, in a sense, he kind of did, you know what I'm saying? Because he still like changed the game, changed the landscape, got everybody releasing an enormous amount of music, more focused on quantity than quality, you know what I mean? It'd be good quality songs and music, but it just a lot all at once. It's hard to talk, you know, it's challenging to digest, you feel me? And both LeBron and Chris Brown didn't really operate off a system. They kind of operated off their own system, something that's new, something they ain't never really seen before, you feel me? They both broke crazy records, man. LeBron he's an NBA all-time top scorer, man. He just beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record last year. You hear me? If I ain't mistaken, I think it was like last year. But he just recently broke that record. You feel me? And he's an all-time scorer. I mean, he done broke so many records. Top MVP, top, you know what I mean? Man, playoffs, everything. You hear me? Same thing with Chris Brown. Chris Brown, he got so many top 40 hits. The most hits on the top 100 from any male singer. He beat Elvis records for the most gold and platinum singles on the billboards. Like, he just got so many. Like I said, it's kind of playing off of the quantity. And both of them been in the game for such a long time. They both been in the game. You know, people are talking about how LeBron is still in the game and he pushing 40. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this man is 40. He's still playing at a high level. Same thing with Chris Brown. Everybody like, man, this dude was steady doing kicks and flips and all that. He's 35 years old. You know, it's the same thing. They've been playing at a high level, both musically and basketball wise. They've been operating at a high level. For LeBron already hit that 20-year mark. He passed it. Chris Brown just not hitting 20 years. But 20 plus years of you operating at a high level says a lot. Also, another thing too, they both get blamed for the state of, for the current state of their field, right? So Chris Brown, right? He get blamed for the current state of R&B. The current state of R&B is all the male R&B singers, right? They are big on like being kind of like operating like rappers. You know what I'm saying? They operate like rappers, look like rappers. You know, if you look at like the Brent Fayez, you look at, you know, a lot Ty Dolla $ign, you know what I'm saying? Like it was put like this, male R&B, they kind of operated more looking like the Usher, right? They was more kind of classy, more sophisticated, you know what I mean? A little hip, but you know, but when Chris Brown jumped in and really kind of like honed in on that bad boy image or whatever, it became strictly just like, I'm just finna operate more like a rapper. I'm finna sing, I'm finna be cussing, I'm finna talk about, I'm finna crack some. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna make it sound good, but I'm finna basically talk like how a rapper would talk, but I'm singing. That's basically what it is, right? And a lot of other male rappers feel like they gotta do the same shit, you feel me? But that's really because, you know, rap done took over, so Chris Brown just really adapted. Same thing with LeBron, right? He gets to blame. It was like, man, everybody's changing teams, man. Everybody's friends now. Everybody's basically like switching teams, creating their own all-star players. You know what I'm saying? And so they can win a ring and this, that, the third. Like next to Steph Curry, it's the same thing with LeBron, man. Like Steph Curry get, you know, criticized because, you know, oh man, the threes. Everybody just shooting threes now. You know what I'm saying? They blame Steph Curry, but they really blame LeBron. They feel like LeBron messed up the game and NBA ain't what it used to be and yada, 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 right? So they both get the scrutiny. Like, they both get, and the thing is, both Chris Brown and LeBron take an independent approach to the game, right? LeBron James like, bro, I ain't just finna slave to y'all. You know what I'm saying? If I know the business, if I know what I got cracking, and I know what I need to do in order to win, I'm finna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna yes or massa. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, like, something we ain't never seen before. You know what I mean? And same thing with like Chris Brown, right? Like, he just being him. He just operating like him. Like, bro, I like to chill with my homeboys. I'm singing about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, when I made Loyal, I was talking about, you know, when I'm going to these different, you know, houses, Trey Songz's house, I'm going to Sean Kingston's house, I'm going to this person's house, I'm seeing the same girl. These hoes ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody criticized another thing, too. It's like, these dudes ain't singing them, but they ain't rap singing. It's like, cause y'all, when that rich nigga wants you and your nigga can't do nothing for you. That's just what it is, bro. He operates more like a rapper. And even when it comes to his recording process, he doesn't record like a conventional singer. He records like how rappers do now. How rappers punch in line by line. That's how Chris Brown records music. He sings line by line. You know what I mean? And it's like people like, oh man, you know, but that's just what it is. He adapted to the new era. They both have a crazy career, man. They both of them really specialize in longevity, bro. And they both get compared. And it's like, it's kind of hard to be like, oh man, you know, LeBron is better than Jordan, or Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson, bro. We really can't do that because it's different eras, bro. And at the same time, Jordan and Michael Jackson are both they OGs. But the thing is, it's safe to say that, you know, they both done created their own lane. You feel me? And they both done did something that ain't never been done before. Because now LeBron is the first player to play with his son in the league. You know what I'm saying? That's never been seen before. You feel me? And to play at a high level is such when he pushing 40, you feel me? By the time, you know, Michael Jordan left, came back to the Wizards, he wasn't playing. He wasn't that elite player that he was when he was on the Bulls and when he was younger, you hear me? LeBron just never stopped. He just kept going, you feel me? And he's continuing to go, you know what I'm saying? He probably got a couple years left, but at the end of the day, he still operated at a high level. Same thing with like Chris Brown, right? So they saying because he's canceled that he would never play at a Super Bowl, right? They're like, oh man, he never played a Super Bowl, but he just sold out 2 nights at a South African stadium, 94,000 people, man, and it looks identical to the Super Bowl. Like, that stadium looks identical to the Super Bowl, and it's crazy. So it's like, yeah, I didn't perform at a Super Bowl because, you know, stream media don't really rock with me like that, but guess what? I got my own Super Bowl. I got my own thing, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? I'm getting paid for all of this. 94,000 people paid and came to just see me. Not just a Super Bowl. I mean, not just some players and then see the halftime show. No, they came to see me. I packed the whole stadium for 2 days in a row. You feel me? So it's just something that we ain't never seen before, you know. It's always been with them too, right? Oh man, you know, Chris Brown could never be the next Michael Jackson because of this, because what happened to Rihanna, or, you know, LeBron will never be Michael Jordan. Man, bro, at the end of the day, they done created their own legacies. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Since Michael Jordan is already stamped, Michael Jackson already stamped, Kobe already stamped, rest in peace, Usher already stamped, right? Conversation moving forward is gonna be this, and I think people scared of it. Who's gonna be the next Chris Brown? Who's gonna be the next LeBron James? That's really gonna be the conversations moving forward. The same way that we having conversations saying that, okay, Chris Brown could never be Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson did this, or LeBron could never be MJ because he done did. No, the new conversation moving forward, when it's all said and done, it's gonna be like, who gonna be next Chris Brown? So-and-so ain't Chris Brown because you gotta operate at a high level, bro, well into your 30s. He ain't LeBron because he gotta be in his 40s. It's gonna be that conversation, man. What y'all think, man? Am I just yapping? Tell me what y'all think, man. Holler at me in the comments, folks.